Seemed like one of the prettier connections they've had, and how fitting was it that they kind of go out and start things out like that?
It was good.
What did you like most about that that play and the way it set the tone, maybe through the air?
I thought he threw it well. I like that. I thought he made a nice catch on it, ran a good route. I like that. And in reference to how that impacted the what took place afterwards or the rest of the ball game, probably had a positive impact on it, I would guess. Yeah.
What was the trophy presentation like just now? What did you tell the team?
Told them that this was our governor, and we like having him in our locker room, and we want to make sure that he continues to visit us in ball games. Told him I was proud of him.
Coach, your running game showed up today, 194 yards. Can you talk about how much that impacted the game?
Well, again, it didn't hurt it, that's for sure. But I thought, and it wasn't so much, it wasn't the yardage, it was just the execution of the vast majority of the running game. I thought the execution was good. I thought our people up front handled things well. I thought our backs ran a little bit harder than what they had, so we made some improvement, and that's the most significant thing to me.
Are you happy with how opening the dorms early turned out?
How what?
How opening the dorms early turned out?
Opening the doors early.
Dorms.
Oh, the dorms.
Dorms.
I'm not altogether certain. It looked like we had a pretty good crowd. So, if the students were there, then I'm awful pleased about that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach, a number of seniors obviously had a great game today, but Tyler, Jake, and Curry in particular really had a great game. How fitting was it for them to have such a huge game against KU at home on their final home game?
Well, I mean, it goes without saying. I think it was a positive thing for them, and I think it meant a great deal to them, and they felt, I think they felt good about their performance. But I think there are a lot of other guys did as well. We played reasonably well across the board on both sides of the ball, and the vast majority of our kicking game, with the exception of the penalty that we got.
Coach, both of these programs go after the same kids in Kansas. What's it like to win this game? How much does that help in recruiting?
I have absolutely no idea. It doesn't hurt it, I can promise you that. But, young people go to, select schools to attend for a variety of different reasons. Some of them the wrong reasons, some of them the right reasons, some of them reasons we don't understand. So maybe somebody would choose to come to the winner of this ball game, but more often than not, there's probably other things that are that they make decisions on. Certainly, things more important than this.
Coach, your defense had 2 interceptions before 10 minutes even went off the game clock. Can you talk about just what you saw from your defense early and how big that was to get momentum for the defense?
Well, I think so. As I said, I thought we played well on each side of the ball. I think we had 3 or 4 3-and-outs with our defense, which is maybe not as many as we'd like, but it's still significant in the ball game. Turnovers are always big. We put one back. We had another one we dropped and should have had, but I'll take the 2.
Coach, third time Tyler and Curry have both gone over 100 yards in one game. Can you just talk about how they complement each other and how valuable it is to have 2 real go-to guys like that?
Well, it is extremely important, very valuable, and they do complement each other. And what I appreciate about them so much is they're bright young men. They understand they have the capacity to understand schematically the things that we do and schematically what somebody would do on the other side of the ball. And they have a pretty good understanding to be able to piece those things together. So they're more than just guys can run routes and catch footballs. Plus, both are great young men.
Coach, after having just 1 rushing yard last week against West Virginia, I imagine that was a point of emphasis for you this week. You go for 194 in this game and kind of set the tone with that early on. How pleased were you with the rushing game today?
Well, as I said a minute ago, I thought we the execution. That's what I was concerned about, not the yardage. And the execution was vastly improved, I think. And we had some balance in our offense that I think gave the running game a little bit more of a chance, as well. But there's a lot of things that, that I could speak to, and I won't in regards to that. But the best thing I can say is we ran it better, and the execution with our offensive line and our running backs, I said before, ran hard. That wasn't the case, a week ago or whenever we played. So we just got better, that's all.
I guess Baylor and Tech has been a crazy game all day today. Given the scope of the Big 12 and knowing that any team can beat anyone on any given day, what does it mean to Bill Snyder that you guys are able to take care of business against a Kansas team to which you guys are so familiar with each other?
Well, if I understand the question, our approach, and people, talk about how significant this ball game is to, as opposed to others, and we try not to, I'm not naive enough to believe that for a youngster that's from the state of Kansas that it doesn't have some significant value to them. But, our approach to this ball game is no different than any other ball game that we have played, and as I've said, countless number of times, I mean, it was the most important game that we were going to play today. And next week will be the most significant, and last week was the most significant, et cetera. So there's a consistency in the approach, right or wrong. That's the way it is. But as I said, I'm not naive enough to believe that, part of it was, certainly it's a rivalry. We understand that. It means a lot. What our players appreciate a great deal is that it means a lot to the people that sit in those stands out there. That means a great deal, because it's not a matter of saying, as a young football student athlete, that you have to live with it a year, one way or the other. We're talking about people that they embrace that. So part of the before each it's interesting. Before each ball game, there's a period of time of silence where players dedicate their performance to individuals that are significant in their lives, and and a number of our players did that today for our fan base, because they understand how valuable, how important it is to their fans. We see it as a ball game and a stepping stone to, wherever we happen to be going.
Well, you've put yourself in a position now where if you can beat Baylor, you'll at least share a piece of the conference championship. How meaningful is it to you that you're still playing for that with one game to go?
How many what?
That you're playing for a conference championship now with one game to go. How meaningful is that for you?
How meaningful? Well, I mean, I would just echo what you said. I mean, that's what we're doing. It's better than not playing for it. That's for sure. Right? I mean, I'm not sure I know how to answer the question, but it's well, think of a way to ask it. That'll help me. I don't. It's meaningful to our players, sure. Yeah, and to our program. Yeah.
Next week's game is a de facto Big 12 championship game, and you've been an advocate of the Big 12 championship game in the past. How do you feel it's worked out for the conference not having one, and considering it's playing while the other teams are also having a Big 12 championship or their conference championship games the same weekend?
Well, I've already spoken my piece on that, but but I think it remains to be seen. In all reality, I think we have to see how how all this plays out. We've never experienced in collegiate football this type of playoff system at this level, and we have to give it a chance and see how it plays out. And ask me the question in a couple of months, and I'll be evasive about it then too.
You got time for one more?
Coach, one thing I'd like to know, what goes into what you tell your seniors as they're about to take the field for the last time here? Do you personalize what you're telling each and every one of them, and what were some of the things that you said to them today?
You mean when they're about to enter the
Right,
field
right.
and individually? Well, I'm not going to. Yes, it is personalized, and I'm probably not going to share, an awful lot of things that I would say to you. But for the most part, it's a gesture of appreciation for what they've done and what they've meant to Kansas State and our program, and an appreciation for the kind of people that they have been, during their time here. So that's a generalized statement.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much.